I love that theme song. I love that theme song. What's going on, people? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, honey, as soon as I go live, that's when everybody wants to start chatting me up. Um, the comments. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. Let me. All right, I got the link. I got the link. I got the link. All right. Let's see. Can I change this? Y'all, I'm still learning this StreamYard. Still learning this StreamYard. Still learning how to see if I can navigate this shit. But we're going to do the very best that we can while we are here. All right. All right. Let me get to my media assets over here. And we should be good to go in just a second, y'all. Sorry, babies. Here we go. All right. All right, we're ready. We're ready. Tonight's live has been inspired by Mr. Stevens. Good evening, Miss Autumn. Thank you, love. Thank you for joining, girl. Mr. Stevens inspired this live. And it was about triggers. And we all have them. We all have them. And it was a good topic, because especially right now when everybody is on edge, and I don't know anybody. I mean, everybody's living in a pressure cooker right now. And I just thought that it might be a good subject. All right. Hey Lisa, hey Michael, Mr. Stevens. Okay. Everyone, can y'all see me coming in and commit? We see you, Lisa. Nay. Hey, y'all. Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to drop the link, y'all. I'm going to drop the link before we get deep into tonight's conversation. If anybody wants to come in and talk about what they're grateful for, by all means, hit the link. Let's hear what it is. I spent the early portion of the day with Christopher. He's doing fine. I made sure he had something to eat. He's very worried about November the 1st and the food stamps. And so, I was able to ease some of that mind. But I'm grateful for that. And then from there, I had lunch with two friends. Miss Esparza. Oh, baby. Y'all, I'm tired. I'm exhausted. So bear with me. But yeah, that's what I'm grateful for today. And like I said, before we get into anything, if anyone wants to drop in and say what they grateful for before we go in, please let's do so. If not, let me know and we're gonna get going. Yeah, Nay, it's an adjustment. It's an adjustment, but we doing what we can, baby. We definitely doing what we can. Okay. All right. So hold on. So again, tonight's wait. Hold on. We got Mr. Stevens.
Hello.
Greetings, girl. Hi, baby. How are you, love? Michael, thank you for always coming in. What's going on, baby?
Hey, well, I am so thankful I was able to make it to the gym today because my energy was feeling a little bit odd. And usually, when I'm doing yoga, I think I can pick up stuff. Not to sound crazy. And I did kind of see somebody I didn't like at the gym, but it's okay. It's okay. But I am grateful I was able to make it to the gym because, it was able to help me to control my emotions and stuff. So, and plus the foliage is so beautiful out here. I don't know how it is in your neck of the woods. I don't know if you have that much, but it's just so much to be grateful for. Even when stuff is going bad, politically and financially, but it's just so much to be grateful for. So
There's a
Um,
baby, there's always something to be grateful for. There's
yeah,
always something
yeah,
to be grateful for. Miss Autumn, what you got?
Oh man, I'm just grateful to be here. You know what I mean? The little things. Not only a week ago I was complaining about food. I'm just grateful just to be able to eat. I'm grateful to have a roof over my head. I just see so many people that are homeless and that
hmm,
are hungry. And I might not have everything that I want or everything that I feel as though that I may need, but I'm sustainable. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for
yeah,
that. Just the little
And,
things I'm so grateful
and I'm gonna say this, having dealt with somebody that was, I mean, unhoused for the majority of the summer. You know what I'm saying? For the majority of the summer. Is it big? Is it space? No, 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 no. It's a room. The man can go to the bathroom.
for.
He's not cold. He ain't got to
Yeah.
worry about rats coming in his tent. None of that. He doesn't have a refrigerator. He don't have a hot plate. This is a historical building, so I don't know how we're gonna work about that, but we can work around it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
yeah,
But
Yeah.
babe, I'm just grateful. I am just grateful. And with
Yeah.
that said, I said it a few times before, Mr. Stevens, this night right here, this is for you, okay? Because you were the one that inspired this. So let me get
thank
to these
you.
comments right here. Sal said,
Mhm.
it's cold in Ohio. So, Nay, let me tell you, I'm doing the game that all Chicagoans play right about this time. Like, how long do I take before I put that goddamn heat on? Okay, so I said, wait a minute. Until then, she's covered up from head to toe, baby. Look, I'm going, next thing you know, I'm going to be up in a burqa just to conserve the body heat, okay? So that is that. But, Michael, you was talking about how you didn't like to see somebody at the gym. And that will be a trigger. And wait a minute, and it kind of reminds me of
I
something
am
like,
sick. I am sick, sick, sick of your shit. And when I'm not sick, I'm tired. I am sick and tired.
okay, so it's a little bit like that, right? So we all have these moments. We all have these moments where one word or the tone, and boom, we are heated. And Wanda does trigger better than most, okay? But the truth of the matter is that person that brings us to that elicits that response from us, that person didn't actually cause the trigger. All they did was activate it. All they did was activate that trigger.
Yeah,
And a lot of times, and a lot of we spend so much energy, me included. When I'm not at the salon, I'm over at that stadium. And I'm at that stadium because the money is right. If it wasn't for the people, it would be fabulous. But you can't. They paying you to deal with that bullshit, right?
mhm,
So it took me a long time to get to this place. And I'm just gonna say this. Triggers are messengers. They're not our enemies. Um, Triggers show us where our old wounds still live. And that activation, that is our responsibility, not that individual's. So I'm just
mhm,
going to say this. I'm just going to say this. Whatever triggers you controls you. Whatever triggers you controls you. But here's the power move. Here's the power move. Once you own your triggers, you can therefore decide the reaction, and therefore you take back control. So that's where that shit triggers, just like every challenges, it challenges us to be better. All right, I'm gonna tell you this
mhm.
much. For me, and y'all in the chat, let me know or come on up. You see Michael, Miss Autumn up in here. Come on up, hit the link, and let me know what your trigger is. I'm gonna tell you this right now. As an Aquarian, lying to me. You ain't gotta lie to me. You ain't gotta lie to me. You ain't gotta lie to me. On this table, bring your shit as it is. Bring all your shit. I will accept, I will select, and I will reject all of the shit that comes on. Okay? And guess what? I will still embrace you. I will still embrace you. All right? But when you lie, because for me, as it stands, who you are is good enough for me. Who you are is good enough for me. That lying, and for me, it's not so much the lie that bothers me. What bothers me is that you felt that I was stupid enough to believe it. That's where the insult comes in. That's where the insult. The line is on you. But you pulled that on me because there's somewhere about me that you thought that I was stupid enough to believe it. And that, baby, that right there will piss me the fuck off. What triggers you, Autumn?
The same with you. I can't take deceit. I can't because I'm an open book. And that's with friends, family, strangers, or whatever. I'm an open book because that's just my personality. So if I'm coming to you as real as I am, and you come to me with
some bullshit.
yes on the boat, oh, that just sends me to the moon. It does, and I have to kind of calm myself down to realize like everybody is not like you, and you just gotta chill out. But I'll be trying to like I can't figure this out now. I've been open and honest with you. I'd have told you some stuff that I should have kept to myself, but I'm trying to keep it real, and you gonna deceive me. Why? I'll be trying to figure some shit out. Like
now, I got it up. I got it up on the screen. Cause Nate, you know what, Nate? And Nate, I'm not gonna sit here and say you wrong. Nate says that if you lie, you will steal, and if you will steal, you will lie. You know what I'm saying?
yes,
You know,
yes,
and wait a minute. And this listen. I am a very simple person. I'm a very simple person. The fashions are Target. They clean. They good enough to get me through where I got. Very little in my house that is of like monetary value. Now, for me. Now, my value, my crystals, my cards, my grandmother's possessions. Now that to me is the value. But all the other shit, the setup that I got right now in the last 2 weeks, the setup, the new camera and stuff like that, and Auto Express, he's on his way to Poland, so we're gonna send some positive energy and ask Universal Mind to protect that plane. He's like, here, girl, I got you this camera armature. You know what I'm saying? Again, the setup is is of value. Very little that you got to steal from me. If you ask, chances are I got it. It's yours. Chances are you got it. Yours. There is no reason to lie. There is no reason. There is no reason to lie. And so when it comes to these triggers, on a psychologically, triggers are like emotional flashbacks. And that's why I think we react to them as well as vehemently as we do, because something in the present reminds our nervous system of an old wound. And I think that's where the triggers come from. We're not reacting to the individual. We are reacting to what they represent. And that, and when we start dissecting that trigger, when we start dissecting that trigger, you start taking away that emotional charge. When you start taking away that emotional charge, you are inevitably asking yourself the question, why? When you asking yourself that question, why, when you know the why, you're going to know the how, therefore, afterwards. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say that these triggers are messengers. They're there to look at the weaknesses that are within us so that we can say, you got me once, but you ain't gonna get me tomorrow on that bullshit. and that was that. So Michael, you over here, this is your night. What triggers you? What is that?
Well, that's the Seven of Swords. That's made me think
Uh,
when you were talking about. That's my gummy bear tarot. But
okay.
yeah. But let me see. When people push your buttons and when you react negatively, they play the victim. Oh my goodness, that is.
Oh yeah. No, baby. You
I
gotta pick
listen.
a
I
lane.
agree.
You
Listen. I
you gotta
relate. I
pick a
can
lane. You
relate.
cannot be, you're not gonna be the antagonist and the victim at the same time. You gotta pick one or the other, okay? You got to,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. You know, and again, when somebody presses those buttons, it's not about them. It's about the memory in our bodies that's waiting to be healed. You
Mm-hmm.
see that memory that's waiting to it, and that's the shit. And that's the shit. And once again, I go back to whatever it is that triggers you, controls you. And what we're trying to do is to get their fingers off the button. You off our buttons, because if we don't have a button, they ain't got shit for they shit for them to press. What it say?
Mm-hmm.
Right then. Oh, wait a minute. Yep. And now you got a lot to say without getting up on this screen. So Nate says right, and then they say you crazy. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep. Then they say you crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, we
No, that
always
gas.
the
Wait,
crazy
it's
one.
the gaslighting for me. It's the gaslighting for me. But yeah, so that's.
I just cut my son off of that crap. It's like I don't know what it is. I don't know if he's still holding on that he was in charge of the kids while I was in jail. He didn't have to be, he chose to be. I was so grateful. I said, and I've been out of jail 16 years now. So been home. So I'm like, every time we get into, a disagreement or whatever, like we get the conversation can start off very nice and then he'll end up so nasty and so mean. And so
Mhm.
about a week ago, I said, check this out. I know you have an issue with your mother, and it's okay. I'm gonna let you have it. But I'm done. I'm not going to constantly be a doormat to you and your bullshit. So since I know you don't care about me, adios. You ain't got to call, come, or nothing. And I meant that, because I'm always the reason you don't never say you sorry. I said, how many times do I have to say I'm sorry, sir? How many times? How many times? Like, and it's like I'm the bad guy, but you come with the bullshit. I'm at my house. I ain't bothering you. So now we don't talk at all because I can't take that mess. I can't take it. I can't. I can't.
Mm.
I just let that go. Him and my mom all in one shot. Bye. Bye.
Mm.
Just bye.
And that's got, and Autumn, that's got to be a hurting thing. That's got
It
to be
does hurt.
because
I'm
you
making
know
light of it. I'm making light of it, but it does hurt. That's my mother and that's my son. But I'm not going to continue to go through that nonsense. I'm just not. That's, like that hurts me. Y'all talk to me
Yeah.
crazy out of nowhere. I don't deserve it. I don't provoke it. And then when I speak up, I'm the villain and I'm the bad guy. The hell with both of y'all and goodbye. I had to say my piece.
And girl, and that like that whole thing right there, that umbrella of just constantly being misunderstood, that umbrella of constantly having to explain yourself, or your words get twisted, that old pain, those old patterns resurfacing and shit like that, the feelings of, always having to come back up, being dismissed, all of that shit. And again, from the woman that was supposed to protect you, and from, the child that you brought into the world. That's not, that ain't easy, baby. Right there, that right there, mama, that right there, that's hermit energy. That's hermit
Mm.
energy all day long. The constant introspection, the constant self-guidance, going back to peace, the constant going back to the inner wisdom, honey. That's hermit mode right there. And you look at him right there with his cane on top of the mountain with his light. Baby, daddy looks happy. He ain't got to deal with nobody. Daddy looks happy. You know what I'm saying? So, that's a lot. That's a lot. But, Miss Autumn, I'm going to say this. And let this land with you, mama. Just understand that understanding begins with you.
Yes.
Understanding begins with me. Understanding begins with me. I know who I am. I know who I am. I know what I know the words coming out of my mouth are. I know the intention behind them. I'm going to be responsible for my words, but I'm not going to be responsible for your reaction. I'm not going to be responsible for your interpretation, because understanding is with me. I know who I am. I know who I am. I know I hurt you. I paid that. I paid, for you, you paid for that with your freedom. You paid for that for however long you had to be institutionalized and stuff like that. And then to constantly have to come back and then have to pay for it over and over again. Mama, it's hermit energy for me. It's the hermit energy for me all day long. All day long. So, yeah. Anybody else want to come up and talk about their triggers? Anybody?
Mm.
So we got that. We got that from Miss Autumn. I'm gonna give you another one. You want to know what bothers me?
What?
Me? When you text somebody and they take hours to reply.
Ooh.
You was just on the phone.
Ooh.
You just texted me. I know you got the phone in your hand. I know you got the phone in your hand. Yeah, that one right there. Woo! That inconsistent shit. Oh my God. Oh my God. Baby, but let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. You remember these words. Silence is not passive. Silence is not passive. That unreturned call, that unreturned text, baby, that is placing the value. That is placing the value. You texted me? Fuck that bitch. Okay. What'd you say, Autumn? Okay. That silence right there. I'm placing the value of that text. I'm placing the value of that text, meaning you ain't worth it for me to get back to you. See, and wait a minute. I tell people I'm mixed. I'm spiritual and I'm ghetto. Pray with me, don't play with me. I will match energy. Okay, it's that Sagittarius in me. I don't like it. I'm not trying to. Universal mind is still working on me. I'm just being real. I'm just being real. And the thing is though, is that it was like, Ronnie, why does that bother you so much? Because I placed my self-worth on the response. Whether I knew it or not, I placed my self-worth on that response. And when I match energy and you text me and I get back to you in a day, I come to find out you don't like it. Okay? Baby, silence is a teacher. That silence right there, that silence, that unresponded text, that unanswered phone, baby, silence is a teacher. It says value yourself first. Where's my media asset? Because you want to know what? That right there, Where is it? That right there. That right. Here we go. There we go. Come on. That's 8 of Cups energy right there.
Mm,
That's 8 of Cups
mm.
energy right there. You see him? Baby, you see those 8 golden cups? Whatever is in those cups is not worth his dignity. My boy is walking. My boy, what? Keep your fucking cups. Keep your cups. Walking away with dignity and free from that emotional dependency. That's what that shit we got to work with. That's what
You
we got
know,
to work with.
I'll say this to you, Diva. I think I kind of told you partial of the story, and this has relation to it. But about 2 years ago, I stopped talking to my friend Jay. He has a whole host of issues. I used to go to yoga with him and everything because he had a business. So he brings this friend who was very shady and a queen, and he was paying him more attention than me. So, and then might I remind you, I was high on the edible. Whatever. And so I got jealous.
I'm in the spirit realm myself right now, baby. Okay, I'm in the spirit realm myself.
Mhm.
Okay, so there we go.
Yeah.
I'm not getting on Beyonce's birthday with this two-tone hair, internet, with this
Yeah.
two-tone hair. Unspiritual. Okay, you know what I'm saying. I'm not doing
Okay.
it, but go on.
Yeah, and so something just told me to walk out, leave. And he was like, "Hey, Mike, where you going?" I was like, "You know what? Have fun without me." So I find out months later that Jay was talking about me behind my back. And he was using that queen or that person to get me jealous. He was flaunting him around to get me to be jealous. And I walked away, and I'll come to find out that Jay has some issues with drugs and is confused about who he is, if you get what I'm saying, because his girlfriend was at the event. So I no longer talk to that, and that made me think of the 8 of Cups.
And Michael, with that being said, and again, like with me reacting to that unread text, that unanswered phone, the thing that came to me with all that was that the delay in the response from that individual, their delay did not define my value. It didn't define my value. And that I had to learn. And the thing was that when and it's not like, I'm sitting here as an incomplete person. That's not what's going on here. It's just that for me, I'm giving you the same attention or the same respect, and that all I'm asking for in return. All right, that's all I'm asking for in return. And when that is not met, and it's just as simple as like, hey, I saw you try to get in touch with me. I can't speak right now. When you can't do that, you told me everything I need to. You told me everything I need to know. You told me everything I need to know. So, Michael, again, your affirmation is their delay doesn't define your value.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Another thing.
Wow.
Another thing. Wait a minute. Sal says, wait, look at when I said I'm mixed. Sal says Sparrow, ghetto spirit ghetto. Okay. All right, Sal. All right, Sal, you got points for that one, honey. You got points for that one. And see, if I thought that was being disrespectful, that would give us a perfect segue for the other thing being disrespectful. Oh, baby. Oh, as this gray hair is coming through, I gotta constantly remind somebody, don't let that gray fool you. I am from 85th and Burley. I will read the shit out of you. And then I'll go on to the mama. Okay, it's just what it is. So wait, someone saying some slick shit, someone talking at the side of their, out the side of their mouth or something like that. Baby, wait a minute. I'm like, It used to be more violent, but as I got older, it gets more deadlier when you look at that person and you smile like, I'm sorry, who you talking to right now? Oh, when you say that with that smile, baby, it sends a chill through them. And I like that shit. I like that shit. Okay. You know, when you ready to snap, you know, that right there, that's that old survival energy. That's that old, that's that traumatic childhood environments where disrespect equaled danger and stuff like that. And that's where I was ready to match that energy. And that's where it's like we don't match that energy. We don't match that energy. We pause. We pause. We protect our energy. You know, we use calm and we use strength. But you know what? That one right there, where is she at? Where's Her Majesty? That right there, that is Queen of Swords energy. That is
Ooh.
Queen of Swords energy. Mama is clear about her boundaries, and Mama chooses intellect over emotion. And so when that right there, when that disrespect comes in, that's when that sword got to go up, not to chop their heads off, but to let them know I could, and you know I could. But the fact that I don't shows you that I'm greater than you.
Mm.
Sometimes you ain't got to pull the trigger. Sometimes you ain't got to pull the trigger. Just the fact that they know that you could pull that trigger is more than enough. It's more than enough. Sal, look at, see, Sal's from Chicago too. Sal's good. What do you say? You good? Yeah, honey. The new version is, are you okay? Are you okay? Yeah, that's that new Chicago thing. You know, but and especially with that one, with that disrespect, especially with that one, like when I find myself in that situation, you know, because I am trying to be better. I am trying to be better. You know, I'm like, okay, Ronnie, what you going to affirm? What you going to affirm? What you going to affirm? And it's not, I'm going to beat her ass. No, we're not affirming that. No. You know, I'm like, all right. All right. I'm choosing calm over the chaos.
Mm.
Because if I don't choose calm over the chaos,
You could
I'm
end
gonna
up
be,
in jail.
I'm gonna be on Belmont and Western. All right. I'm gonna be
Absolutely.
Belmont and Western. Yeah, and I'm too cute. I'm too cute. I'm too cute. And honey, and what do I tell you all? Never fight with ugly people because they ain't got shit to lose. I'm too cute. I'm too cute. Okay. I'm too cute. So
Mm.
yeah, oh y'all, I'll tell you one that gets me. I'll tell you one that gets me. When, like, if somebody asks me a story or asks me a question or something like that, and I'm in the middle of explaining and I'm being ignored. Ooh. That's when that good old, are you okay, comes in. Are you okay? You okay? You asked me a question. I'm giving you the answer. And the one that you asked me for, because I wasn't ready to talk to you. But yet I'm doing that. And now that I'm giving you the information that you asked me for, you got everything else to do but to listen. That shit right there will piss me the fuck off. That right there will piss me the fuck off. That you about to give something, that information or a direction or something like that. And that old childhood shit of not being listened to. Growing up, or as kids, we grew up feeling unseen. We equated being heard. We equated somebody listening to us as being loved because it was so normal for us to be dismissed in our opinions, in our feelings, and stuff like that. So that, like, not being listened to, that's the origin of that trigger. You know, that's the origin of that trigger. So yeah, that is that. But I wanted to get up on here and hold on, Sal. Sal got a lot to say today. Remind yourself you are better than this. Sometimes you just have to hold it in, and sometimes you need to clear things up right then and right now. Oh, I like, yeah, you know what? If it gets to that point, you know what? And sometimes you just cannot clear shit up right then and there, and you wait for that appropriate moment, and you do it. But yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah,
good advice.
and what that story I was just telling you too, I was thinking about, I have been still thinking about it, and I've been thinking about like, oh, I just wish I could get revenge on such and such, but I have to realize that some people have issues, spiritual issues. And one thing I can definitely say, my mother always told me, do not argue with people who have spiritual issues because you ain't gonna win.
But
If
Michael,
I'm using
when it came
I'm
to
using
that,
another word. Yeah.
when it came to that, but you told me that this individual, he's got other things going on too. And the thing is, though, Michael, is that you cannot expect honesty from somebody that's already lying to themselves.
Yes. Yes. Amen. Hallelujah. Yes.
You cannot
Preach.
expect honesty from somebody that's lying to themselves and stuff.
Preach.
And so, with that being said, that revenge, darling, when that happens, I'm just going to say this much: that when you are in contact with somebody, and they are right there, and they don't appreciate, if they don't appreciate your presence, trust and believe they're not going to appreciate your absence. So this whole thing about revenge, baby, I can
Yep.
guarantee you, and I'm not trying to be shady right now, I'm not trying to get you together, I can guarantee you that old boy ain't thought about that shit in you. He probably thought about it 3 days after it happened, and that was it. But you over here holding on to that, you got to let that shit go, Papa. You got to let that shit go. Okay?
Yeah.
You got to let that shit go. Because here's the thing, Michael, where that space for revenge is at, what blessing did you block? Because you cannot have two things at the same time. What blessing got knocked out because you holding on to this bastard that can't even be honest with himself?
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
it. That's it. That's all. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
y'all. How much time are we on? Do we know?
We're
Does anyone know what?
It's 37:57.
Okay,
Or
so
something.
we've been out for a good half hour. Okay. Anybody else got anything to say? Miss Yvette is saying preach. Okay, Yvette comes to 773 Oracle and Terrell for church. Okay. She comes to church. Yvette, you want to jump on? Yvette is like, girl, don't get me on camera. Oh, and just by the way, you can turn your cameras off and keep your microphone on if everybody isn't camera ready, because clearly with this two-tone hair, I am. But but it is what it is. If that's it, anybody got anything they want to share? If not, we're gonna call this a grand old happy.
Okay, this was good. This was really
This
good.
was good. This was.
I want to, and wait a minute, and then, because when I put it out, y'all, let me say this. So, since the Cubs did not win, the season is in flux. Now, I don't know if I told you all this or not. But they nominated me Associate of the Year. They didn't give me no raise. They didn't give me no raise. No, child. Why would they do that? But what I have noticed is that if I put my availability on, they're taking care of me and a few other people. They taking care of me and a few other people. So so we're making our little money. So they're taking care of the core people. And like I said, it's been in flux. Tuesday, I was up at that stadium from 5 a.m. until 5 p.m. And they listen, and staying in the attitude of gratitude was more than a notion. But then when I got to that locker room, and like it was only me and one other person, and generally that locker room is busy. I was like, okay, all right, I ain't gonna say shit. I'm not gonna say shit. So with that being said, when and then I went over to go see Christopher, make sure he was doing okay. By the time I got home, I was exhausted. By the time I woke up, trying to get content ready, it was not easy. And y'all, you wait a minute, and I'm gonna say this. This was a new one on me. This was a new one to me. I because I don't think about it. You got these bitches out here in these YouTube, TikTok streets using ChatGPT for some readings. I'm like, oh wow, okay.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Oh, okay, all right. Oh, so you ain't even so you're not even gonna try to tap into the divine.
Wow.
Okay. I'm not a ChatGPT bitch.
I don't even know how to use it.
Baby, I'm not a ChatGPT bitch over here. When I know I'm going to go live, particularly for these readings, like I'm not trying to be funny, I will do that edible. So that the flow comes in a little bit easier. Yeah, I like the feeling, don't get me wrong. But being just a little bit below the threshold, it allows me to get it allows the messages to come out easier. Let me just say that much. And you can't be on the edible all day long, though I try as I might. The point is that, like, sometimes it comes through, sometimes it doesn't. And before I just put out some bullshit, I'm like, okay, today's not that day. Today wasn't that day, which is not good for social media, because these algorithms, they want you to be consistent. But when it comes to any type of divination, I'm a human. Shit bothers me like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And you just cannot be on all the time. And for those, listen, you may have some readers that are, and if they are good, I'm just going to say this much. I've been doing this for a little bit, and I'm a little suspect. If like you ain't got nothing else going on, like if you ain't got to work nothing else, but this is like the only way that you are sustaining yourself, then I can believe it. But then even with that, I got to hear some of the messages. Like I said, before I jumped on here and I thought I was going to do this, I went down the TikTok, the Instagram, the YouTube streets to see what they were doing. Baby, not everybody is a hoodoo princess. Not everybody could be, not everybody. Okay, not everybody comes from a lineage of spell workers, all right? And that's what it seems to me. And not everybody's man has been put under a hex by some other bitch. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, oh Lord. And it just came to me like,
you're right. They all sound uniform. All of them sound uniform. It's the same message, just remixed.
See, girl, and see right here, we got the full. Wait a minute, where is he at? We got the full. See, girl, he's about to jump off this cliff because he can't live without you. But see right here, this is illusions right here. Some bitch got him, girl. Listen. All I can say is that your man went to some girl's house and had some spaghetti sauce. Okay, because right here, look at that. Look at the burden right there. Look at the burden he's got. And I'm just like, I'm like, wow. Wow. And in the comments, it's like, oh, I knew it. So we're not going to just, we're going with a binding spell of some menstrual blood and some spaghetti sauce, but we're not even going to go bypass stuff. We're not, baby, that's a binding spell. That's an old hoodoo binding spell. So
I know.
But we're not. But we're not even going to entertain the fact that you just got yourself a no counting ninja, right? But he had to be bewildered, bewitched, okay, in order to keep himself away from you, okay? His dick just accidentally fell in this girl's vagina. Bitch, if you don't get the fuck out of here with this bullshit. If you don't get the fuck out of here with this bullshit. And I'm just like, and I'm like, okay, I can't do that. Well, no, you all saw I can. I just can't. If I can't be authentic, if it can't be real, then I'll pass. I'll
Yeah.
just pass. You know,
Mhm.
and again, I'm not the best on here, but I will say this much. Before anything, my authenticity comes in first. And I'm good for like, hey, Miss Autumn, if this didn't resonate with you, this was not your reading. However, this is information, and this is what Universal Mind wanted you to know. So you put it in your pocket. It may not be for you, but it may be for someone coming down the pike. So you just keep it in your pocket, you know, and that's not like a coverall or something like that. Because like I said, when it comes to doing the cards, the thing that everybody responds to is the synchronicity. You all see the shuffle, you all see the pull, and the fact that a card will come up and it speaks to that certain situation. That's where everybody thinks that the magic is at. But every card has information to it, you know. So that's where I'm
Okay.
at with it. So, oh, wait a minute. Here we got Miss Esparza. What she say? What she say? And I love you, Miss Esparza. All right, so we're gonna close this up. We're gonna close this up, and I just want to say about these triggers. All right, so on a spiritual, on a metaphysical level, I just want you all to remember one thing, and that is triggers. Every trigger is a mirror. Every trigger is a mirror, and it shows you where your inner peace depends on
Mm.
outside behavior. Oh, come on, Ronnie. Oh, did you? I'm going to say that again because I like that. Every trigger shows you where your inner peace is dependent on somebody's outside behavior. What we want is integration. What we want is, I don't give a fuck what you do because you're not knocking me off my square. That's what we want. That's what we want. Because if I stand in front of it, you cannot hit it. It's one of those things. So it's not important to master the moment. What is important is that we master ourselves.
Mm.
You know, and triggers are not here they're not here to break us. They're here to teach us. You know, we could use the Five of Pentacles. Let me see here. Let me see. Do I have that up here? The Five of Pentacles. Where's my five?
That's the poverty, right? That's the poverty one, right?
Baby, stop reading your book. Stop reading your book and hold on. Hold on. Let me put this down. Hold on. Let me put this down. That's the basic. That's the basic definition. Michael,
Mhm.
you're not a parrot. You want to do tarot? Okay, it's fine to do that. You got to get some intuition in you. You got to let spirit speak to you, okay? Yes.
Okay.
Okay, wait a minute. Okay, right. Okay. You know, the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles, that is showing you, Michael, that if you just look up, that the light is on. There
Mm.
is a place for you. There is a place for you. All you got to do is look up. You know, so it's this isolation energy. Five of Pentacles is isolation energy. Five of Pentacles is feeling left out in the cold, but it whispers to you, you can find your own warmth.
Mm.
Yes. Yes.
Preach.
Down to the star. Down to the star. After the insult, after the pain of the disrespect that we have, that star is there to remind you that healing is on the way. And even in the tarot, Michael, when you spread out your tarot, you always going to see that the tower comes before the star. You cannot have no healing until you have an injury. But that star is there to let you know that healing is always on the way. That the tower moment, that star is to remind you that you are always going to be greater than your circumstance.
Mm. Wow.
Okay.
Keep preaching. Yeah.
Yep. And again, hey, if you want to memorize, where is it? Where can I do? You want to memorize the book? You go on and memorize the book. All right. But tarot is more than numbers. Tarot is more than pictures. Tarot is a gateway for your divinity to speak through you. So stop trying to be perfect. You're not here to be perfect. You're here to be real. All right.
Okay.
And wait a minute. And Michael, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. You might not get not every reading is going to be stellar. Shit, I've been doing this for 2 years. I take my licks too. And wait a minute. And as long as we're reading for that X factor called human beings, there's always going to be a lick to have. There's always going to be a lick to have. Your energies didn't match, whatever. Those energies didn't match, or that person was lying. Miss Yvette, last year, Miss Yvette, she got me a party. And now, mind you, this was the first time that I have been doing readings in front of people since the COVID. All right. And I was in somebody's house, and like before I do anything, like before I went on today, y'all can't see this, but like I get my little charcoal and I burn my little incense. You know, I got to do shit that I got to be ready for. And I was in somebody's house, and like I was trying to keep it kind of like on the low, and I'm trying to get my shit together. And I hear somebody, oh, do I smell something burning? I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go. So I was off my square. But when it came to the hostess, baby, all I could tell you, I was shuffling and these cards just came out. And I was like, wait a minute, that's too many. But something said, no. And from that slew of cards that came out, those were her reading. That was her reading. I didn't gel with everybody at that party. I'm going to keep it a buck. I didn't gel with everybody in that party, but the message that needed to be heard came from this woman's father that was in the afterlife. And she got a reading of confirmation. Daddy's energy was in that room. And I bless it both. The readings that don't go so well, I learned from. And the readings that do go well, it's because I got that from the readings that didn't go well. So if that's what you're going to do, Michael, you just get yourself together for all that. All right?
Okay. All right.
Y'all. Well, listen, again, triggers aren't here to break you. They are here to teach you. So when you got to go to work and you got to go to that, you got to work next to that bitch over here. If she bothers you, it's because she's activating something inside of you that is yet to be reconciled. Get that reconciliation. That bitch ain't gonna bother you. She's still gonna be there. She ain't gonna be able to exert that energy on you. Okay. Okay. Right. So listen, y'all. Thank you so much. Y'all give some hearts up in the chat, because this one was on behalf of Mr. Michael Stevens, the diva, Miss Autumn, always up in here giving her truths. Always not afraid, honey. The woman has lived lives. Listen to what she's got to say. Her darkest day is going to be your survival guide. All right. So there you go. When anybody comes up and they give you that much authenticity, you must honor them. All right. So give them up. Thank you, Miss Lisa. Get some more hearts up for our people up in here. And that is that. All right, y'all.
Good night.
Good night. Listen, before you go, if there's anything you all want to talk about, let me know. We'll do that. We are going to be I promise you, we're going to be doing readings. I'm going to go back to doing some readings, and especially now that I can speak to you all. So that's going to add a different twist to it. So that is that. Okay. But with all that being said, y'all stay on assignment. Your assignment is your alignment. Thank you all.
Good night.
Good night, baby. Good night.